All right, well, that was kind of a bummer. So I have a recording of me picking up that sell stop, but for whatever reason, the microphone didn't work. Like, here's a little blurb of that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, drag it right above the market, hit modify the order, and boom.
Anyway, I still have the video. Maybe what I can do is kind of do a voice over on the video. Obviously, the market had moved and popped back up. And so right there, I just moved my sell stop up above and modified the order, and it picked it right up. So that actually happened, at 6:18 this morning with bad mic. And this is now the position I have. A short position at 1.35607 and a long position at 1.36010. We've had a little bit of time. I did my hair, my makeup, all of the, beautifications to make me look drop dead sexy for this YouTube channel. This morning, I closed the position. Here we are a few hours later. It's almost noon. It's almost my lunchtime. We still have a long position, 6,371 units, which also is on the hedge calculator. We have a short position, 6,371 units, which is also on the hedge calculator. I feel like maybe one of the things that was a little bit different or potentially misleading is I had these target profits set at 30. I've moved them to 40 because often I do go for 40, but there is times where it makes sense to trim at 30. For example, this one right here, 40 pips puts you just above the support right here. So 40 pips makes a ton of sense. Now, 40 on this one may be too much. I moved it to 40 so we could look at it, but you can see resistance, resistance, resistance. I mean, there is clearly a line right here of resistance. So if you got into this neck of the woods, you could come up with a rationale of saying, hey, I'm going to take profit right there and let it pull back. That's totally fine too. So don't feel like you have to be in a cubby hole of exactness on every time. Anyway, we've got a long position, a short position. We are completely balanced. Both of them are currently out of the money about 20 pips. But if you look down here on my open profit, after those two trades, we went from 23 and change to $19.80. So not only did we make money on that trim, we made money on the squeeze and have 6,129 units available to trade. I'm only actually exposed with half of my units. I've got plenty of units to look and find a new opportunity inside the hedge to work the position. So right now, there's nothing exciting. There's definitely no new trade for me today. It's like right in between these two positions with no clear reason why it would do anything but just sit. So we'll wait, see what tomorrow brings, and see if we can find another opportunity to either trim because one of these positions come into the money, or look for an opportunity to use our 6,000 units that we have on the sidelines just ready and waiting to get in the game. They're over here screaming, put me in, coach, put me in. But we have them on the sidelines. So we did not balance the capacity. We just balanced the hedge. There was no compelling reason to use those units in the market right now. So I just put them on the sideline, waiting for an opportunity to take my shot. All right, I think it's time for some questions from the comments. Let's see what we got here. One person wrote, can we use trailing stop loss instead of booking a profit? And the answer is yes. You can do whatever you want. You absolutely can. You can put a trailing stop, and as that thing moves up, you might get 30, 40, 80, 100 pips, which would be totally awesome. Or it could go up and turn right back around and hit your stop loss. That's the beauty. We just don't know. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you want to do, if you close a position that's in the profit, it gives you money to trim against your hedge. Other than that, you're potentially taking on some risk exposure if it picks up your stop loss before your break even point on that close. Yeah, I think it's absolutely fine to take on a stop loss, especially if the market is on its horse. If it's in momentum and it is chugging, that might be a really good opportunity to take on a stop loss or a trailing stop order. Totally fine. So, yeah, in my opinion, this is a good comment right here. One guy wrote NGL, not sure what that means. This is so unnecessarily complicated. I love your old way of hedging. Would love if you could do these videos using the old way of hedging. All in all, thank you for your efforts. And then there was a couple comments below. What's the old way, how it works? And he wrote back 20 pip stop and 40 pip target, plus squeezing and trimming. I will say you're right. Maybe I did a 30 pip or a 40 pip, but conceptually, the system is the same. Choose where you want to take your profit and choose where you want to put your stop order. That is very much up to you. Then you can have your thoughts around how much risk you want to take on and how long you want to hold on for a position that gets into a profit. I want to be clear, this is not grid trading. You're still looking at charts, you're still making an educated decision. If you want to be at 20 or 40, I would say the system is identical. Just put your stop order at 20 and your take profit at 40 and work your hedge. But I would say to you, if you're putting your stop order directly above a support or directly below a resistance, the likelihood of picking that stop order up goes up exponentially. But if you put it just outside of that resistance or just outside of that support, your chances of picking up that stop order reduce a little bit. So something to think about. Having a little bit of play inside those make it so that you can manage the chart just a little bit. Now, as far as a 40 pip profit, I think sometimes that totally makes sense. And I mentioned that earlier in the video. Let's just open this up. On my short position, it totally makes sense for 40 pips because that is just above this support level. But on my long position, 40 pips might be asking a little bit out of the market. I mean, you're looking at snagging somewhere around 27 pips above and beyond this resistance level. So it may make sense to look at taking something a little bit early in that scenario and working your pullback or your squeeze, if you will. Just a thought. So this is my favorite comment of the day. One person wrote, "This is incredibly stupid. You're trading net deltas. May as well just open and close a single outright position in smaller volumes, but carry on and play the next carry and spreads to the market." Dude, I appreciate you taking the time to write that out. I didn't even know it was stupid, but incredibly stupid? Hot dang, dude. I might just have to throw in the towel right now. You know what they say about people who are stupid or incredibly stupid? Sometimes we just keep being stupid.